We all like baked and fried products like bread, pastries, chips, fries, and so on. But did you know that they can have a negative impact on health too? Most of the dietitians recommend not to eat such products as they contribute to weight gain due to their fatty nature. But could there be another reason as to why they suggest to cut down on these products? In the last video, we discussed Maillard reaction and the flavor components that are produced as a result of Maillard reaction. In that video, I had mentioned that the chemical compounds undergo several side reactions. One of the side reactions it undergoes is Strecker degradation. In Strecker degradation, alpha dicarbonyl, it undergoes oxidation and hydrolysis to yield aldehydes, short chain aldehydes, which are called as aroma precursors, plus ammonia and carbon dioxide. The aldehydes that are produced, they have very low odor and taste threshold, meaning even in minute concentration, we can taste them. So these products, depending on the aldehyde that is formed, can confer great flavor and aroma to food. For instance, if we take amino acid methionine, which is one of the first amino acids to be formed during translation, it can undergo Strecker degradation to provide a cheesy note to your product. Like that what is experienced when you consume cracker. Similarly, there are other components related to each taste note. The second side reaction that occurs during Maillard reaction is acrylamide formation. So you have an amino acid called as asparagine, which can combine with a reducing sugar to give acrylamide. This acrylamide is considered to be a neurotoxin, a carcinogen, and also capable of causing reproductive issues. It is generally formed when the temperature is above 120 degrees Celsius and in low moisture containing products. For instance, you have breakfast cereals, potato chips, French fries, roasted coffee bean, and so on. Now, one thing you have to remember about acrylamide is that acrylamide concentration it increases with the concentration of fructose and glucose in raw material. Or in other words, you can also say it increases with the concentration of reducing sugar. So, what are the mitigation strategies available to tackle acrylamide formation in your food product? First is to make use of non conventional cooking methods. For instance, you can replace frying and deep frying with microwave heating. Second one, if at all your food has some sort of burnt part, that burnt part will be rich in acrylamide. So you can just eliminate that burnt part and consume the rest of the food. Then when we are dealing with vegetables that are rich in amino acid like asparagine and sugar, you can wash these vegetables very well to reduce the amount of reducing sugar present in them. Then amino acid asparagine is involved in acrylamide formation, so we can make use of appropriate protease in order to break down this amino acid. Finally, we can try substituting several meat products with plant based substitutes because the mechanism of action of plant based substitute is different, and not all plant based substitutes they are capable of producing acrylamide. In fact, the propensity of plant based products producing acrylamide is low compared to meat. Thank you for staying with me through the video. In case you have any queries, please feel free to put them in the comment section and I'll get back to you at the earliest.